You know, there's a specific kind of silence that happens when a family decides to collectively ignore something terrible. It's not a quiet silence, it's a loud, heavy, suffocating silence. It's the sound of forks clinking against china, of someone suddenly asking to pass the gravy, of people staring at the wall just to avoid looking at a heartbroken child. My name is Autumn. I'm 33 years old. I'm a single mom to two incredible kids, Lily, who is 8, and Sam, who is 5. And I am the black sheep of my family. For the longest time, I didn't want to admit just how deep the division in my family ran. I made excuses for them. I told myself that my parents were just old school, that they had a hard time adjusting when I divorced my ex-husband. Kyle, in my hometown, Milfield, Ohio, population 12,000, divorce is still treated like a contagious disease by folks like my mother. Diane, she runs the Tuesday prayer circle at the First Presbyterian Church. An image is her entire currency. My older sister, Monica, on the other hand, played the game perfectly. She married a wealthy dentist named Craig. They live in a sprawling house with 2 German luxury cars in the driveway and 3 perfectly styled kids. I took a different path. I went to culinary school, got married young, realized I was in a deeply controlling and financially abusive marriage, and had the audacity to leave. I moved back home, rented a tiny 2-bedroom apartment, and started a cottage bakery out of my kitchen called Townsend Sweets. I worked late into the night, developing recipes while my kids slept, trying to build a life from scratch. The favoritism wasn't hidden, it was glaring. Just to give you an idea of what we were dealing with when Monica's youngest son turned 7, my parents spent nearly $400 just on party decorations. I know this because my mother made sure to casually mention the receipt at dinner. But when my son Sam turned 4 that very same month, my mother claimed things were tight. She mailed him a $20 Target gift card. It arrived 3 days late. Kids notice these things. They always do. Lily stopped asking to go to Grandma's house and started asking why Grandma never wanted to come to ours. When I brought it up to my mother, her response was ice cold. She didn't even look up from her coffee. She just said, "Monica needs more help. Autumn, you've always been the independent one. Take it as a compliment." A compliment. That was her word for neglect. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened last Thanksgiving. It was 6:47 inches the morning. My kitchen smelled like brown butter, cinnamon, and roasting apples. Sam was sitting on the counter, giggling and licking caramel off a wooden spoon. Lily was sitting at the kitchen table, meticulously coloring a turkey made out of her own handprints. In her careful 2nd grade cursive, she wrote love. Lily. Age Oda. It was a gift for Grandma. I boxed up my signature salted caramel apple pie, the one dish everyone always demanded I bring. The one my mother secretly took credit for at her church potlucks, and we loaded up the minivan. I just wanted a normal holiday. When we walked into my parents' house, it was fully illuminated, looking like the cover of a holiday magazine. Monica and Craig's cars were already in the driveway. The dining table was beautifully set for 10 people. I walked over to help Lily find her seat, and that's when I saw it. At my nephew Tyler's place setting, there was a sparkly silver gift bag. At Emma's seat, another gift bag. at Bryce's. A third bag. Then I looked at Lily's spot. Just a name card, nothing else. I looked at Sam's spot, empty. My stomach dropped. I stared at those empty spots for 3 full seconds before setting my pie carrier down on the kitchen counter. Nobody said thank you. My father, Frank, gave me a stiff handshake like I was a door-to-door salesman. I forced myself to breathe. I told myself maybe they were party favors for later. I told myself I was overreacting. Dinner was a one-woman show starring my mother. She talked endlessly about Monica's new imported quartz countertops. She bragged about Craig's dental practice expanding. Every single conversation circled back to Monica's family. When I tried to mention that my little bakery had finally been accepted into the Milfield Spring Farmers Market, a huge milestone for me, my mother literally cut me off mid-sentence to ask Frank to pass the gravy. Then, right before dessert, my mother stood up. She smoothed down her blouse, tapped her glass, and smiled warmly at the room. Before we have pie, she announced, Grandpa and I have something special. A little recognition for the grandkids who made us proud this year. I froze. She walked over to Tyler, handing him his silver bag. He pulled out an $80 gaming headset. Emma got a semi-precious jewelry making kit. Bryce got a massive Lego architecture set. Then my mother sat back down. She picked up her wine glass and took a sip. That was it. Sam looked up at me. His bottom lip wasn't trembling, he was just confused. He leaned in and whispered, "Where is ours?" Mama, I opened my mouth, but my throat was completely sealed shut. Lily didn't ask. She already understood. I watched my sweet 8-year-old daughter reach into her jacket pocket, pull out the beautiful handprint turkey she had painted, look at it for a second, and quietly push it deep back down into her pocket. She wasn't going to give it to Grandma anymore. Across the table, 14-year-old Tyler put on his new headset, looked right at my kids, and laughed. Guess they didn't earn one. He smirked. Nobody corrected him. Monica stared at her wine. Craig looked at the wall. My father stared at his plate. My mother just kept chewing her turkey, looking incredibly satisfied, like she had just taught a very important moral lesson. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't make a scene. I stood up slowly and pushed my chair in. Lily, Sam, get your coats. I said, my mother dropped her knife. Autumn, sit down. You are overreacting. Get your coats. Baby, we are going home. I walked over to the counter. My pie, the one that had taken me hours to bake, was sitting exactly where I had left it, untouched, uncut. Nobody had even moved it to make room. I picked it up, tucked it under my arm, and walked out the front door. Nobody followed us. The porch light stayed on, but the door stayed firmly closed. The drive home was 22 minutes of agonizing silence. Sam fell asleep against the window. Lily sat perfectly still, her hands folded flat in her lap. It wasn't until I parked in our driveway that she finally spoke. Mama, why does Grandma not like us? I sat in the dark car, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. Grandma is confused right now. Baby, I whispered, but that is not your problem to fix. I carried Sam inside. laid him on the couch, and stood in my kitchen. My phone was buzzing off the hook. I opened the family group chat. There were 19 members, though only 5 ever spoke. I typed one short message: "Don't invite us again. We're not your joke. Your gift is on the way." I didn't know what that last part meant yet. It was pure instinct. I hit send. The next morning, the gaslighting began. My mother sent a massive, perfectly punctuated essay in the group chat, claiming the gifts were strictly for academic achievement. She said it was meant to be motivational to inspire Lily and Sam to work harder. Sam is 5. He is in preschool. His biggest academic achievement this year was learning how to use a zipper. My sister texted me to say that if my kids were in more expensive extracurricular activities, they would have gotten gifts to "Don't blame mom for your choices." She wrote, I didn't reply to any of them. I took screenshots of every single message, saved them in a folder, and went to work. I threw myself entirely into Townsend Sweets. I baked until my hands cramped. The holidays were busy, but then January hit, and my orders suddenly plummeted. I lost 2 of my biggest weekly regulars. My revenue dropped by 19%. I didn't understand why until my friend Patty, who owns the local flower shop, called me. "People are talking. Autumn," she said gently, "your mother told the Tuesday prayer group that you abandoned the family on Thanksgiving. She's telling everyone you're punishing her for loving Monica's kids." She had completely rewritten the narrative. She painted herself as the heartbroken matriarch and me as the bitter, unstable daughter. But that wasn't even the worst part. A few weeks later, Patty sent me a screenshot from Instagram. Monica had launched her own business, Lawford Kitchen. Custom cakes, peas, and pastries. Family recipes made with love. I looked at the photos. They were my items. My salted caramel apple pie, my brown butter pecan tarts, my lemon lavender scones. She had copied my exact menu, baked them, and paid for professional photography to shoot them on her expensive marble countertops. In the comments, people were asking her where she learned to bake like that. Monica replied, "Thank you, my grandmother taught me." Our grandmother lived in Dayton, played bridge, and bought store-bought dinner rolls. She died when Monica was 16. They never baked together once. Monica had blocked me, but I didn't need access to her page to know what she was doing. She was using her husband's money to steal my livelihood. She even posted a picture of my signature pie with the caption, "A recipe that's been in our family for generations." And right beneath it was a comment from our mother, "So proud of my girl. We can only invest in one family." Autumn. That's when the grief finally burned away and the absolute focus set in. I didn't waste time crying. I called a small business attorney named Rachel Kim. When I walked into her office, I didn't bring a sad story. I brought a massive, heavy binder. I showed Rachel my cottage food license registered 2 years prior. I showed her 153 time-stamped order receipts. I showed her 28 Instagram posts proving I had been selling these items for 22 months. And the crown jewel, my culinary school notebook, filled with my handwritten, tested recipes, complete with my instructor's red ink grating, my final version of that salted caramel apple pie. Rachel looked at the mountain of evidence, looked at Monica's 3-week-old Instagram page, and smiled. She has no idea what she's doing. Rachel said, "You have common law trademark through prior use. Keep documenting everything." The following week, Monica formally applied for a state trademark for her bakery, trying to legally claim my menu. Rachel immediately filed an opposition. Then came the final nail in the coffin. Patty called me to her flower shop. Her daughter Jess had accidentally received a batch of screenshots from Monica's babysitter. It was a leaked group chat between my mother, my father, and Monica. The chat was literally named Planning Committee. I read the messages. Dated 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Mom, get gift bags for the 3 kids. Not Autumn's. She needs to understand there are consequences for pulling away. Monica Craig can get the headsets wholesale. I'll handle the rest. Dad, is this really necessary? Mom, if she wants back in this family, she needs to show up properly. This will motivate her. And then a message sent the day after I walked out. Mom, she'll come crawling back by Christmas. My hands went completely numb. It was never about academic achievement. It was never an oversight. It was a calculated, pre-planned psychological punishment aimed at an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, designed purely to break me down and force me to submit to my mother's control. If you have ever discovered that the people who were supposed to protect you were actively conspiring to hurt you, you know exactly how cold the world feels in that moment. But I didn't break. I packed my bags for the spring farmers market. It was a crisp Saturday morning in March. I arrived at the town square at 5:45 a.m. I set up my booth, a simple white tablecloth, chalkboard menus, and a beautiful bouquet of sunflowers. Patty had given me, I put out my sample plates. Lily taped a hand-drawn sign to the front of our table, Townsend Sweets. Made with love. 3 booths down. Monica arrived. She was loud. She had a massive, professionally printed vinyl banner. She had matching gold embossed pastry boxes. Craig idled his BMW at the curb, handed her a check, and drove off without even looking at her setup. At Zetch Trey Zetch, my parents arrived. My mother was wearing her Sunday best, a pale blue blazer with pearl buttons. My father trailed behind her like a shadow. They walked straight past my booth, pretending I was invisible, and made a huge show of hugging Monica. My mother loudly offered samples to the passing crowd, playing the perfect supportive parent. Then a woman from my mother's prayer circle walked up to my booth. She looked at me, looked at Monica's booth, and leaned in. Your mother told everyone Monica started this business first. She whispered, "Is that true?" I didn't say a word. I just reached into my tote bag, pulled out a laminated timeline my lawyer had made, and laid it on the table. Left column, Townsend Sweets. Established October 2023. Right column, Lawford Kitchen. Established January 2026. The woman read it. She looked at my dated licenses. She looked down the row at Monica's shiny new banner. Lord have mercy. She whispered. She bought a pie and immediately started whispering to the woman behind her, in line. Word travels fast in a small town. By 11:00 a.m., My booth was completely sold out. Monica's table was still piled high with untouched pastries. That's when Monica cracked. I saw her marching toward me. Her face was flushed red, her jaw tight. She stopped right at the edge of my table. Several other vendors, including Patty, stopped what they were doing to watch. You need to stop telling people I copied you. Monica hissed, trying to keep her voice down. This is embarrassing. I haven't told anyone anything. Monica. I replied evenly. Then why is everyone looking at your little timeline like it's evidence? Because it is. She crossed her arms, puffing her chest out. Those are family recipes. Autumn, Mom taught both of us. Mom told me last week they were family recipes. I said, but you told Instagram your grandmother taught you. Which lie are we going with today? Her face went crimson. She leaned over my table, her voice rising. You have always been jealous of me, ever since we were kids. You couldn't keep a husband. And now she stopped. Not because she realized she was wrong, but because she noticed that a crowd of about 20 people, including her husband, Craig, who had just returned to pick her up, had stopped dead in their tracks to listen. I want to emphasize something here. If there is one thing I have learned about toxic, narcissistic family members, it's that they feed on your emotional reaction. The louder you scream, the more ammo you give them to call you crazy. So I didn't scream. I didn't cry. My hands weren't even shaking. I reached into my bag and pulled out the thick, heavy manila folder Rachel had prepared for me. I dropped it onto the center of the table. Twack. This is my cottage food license, I said calmly, my voice carrying clearly across the quiet market. Registered 23 months before you even bought a piping bag. These are 153 time-stamped receipts. This is my culinary school notebook, graded and dated by my instructor, proving I developed these recipes. Monica stared at the folder like it was a live grenade. This is crazy. You are crazy. Suddenly, my mother pushed her way through the crowd. What are you doing? Stop making a scene, she hissed at me. I'm not making a scene, Mom, I said, looking her dead in the eye. I'm just showing people the truth. I opened the folder to the very last page. I pulled out the printed screenshots, laid them flat on the table, and spun them around. So Monica, my mother and Craig could read them. The planning committee group chat, I read them out loud, slowly. Get gift bags for the 3 kids, not Autumn's. This will motivate her. She'll come crawling back. My mother's face drained of all color. She went sheet white. Monica started waving her hands frantically. She's lying. She forged that. She's just a jealous, bitter ma'am. A customer in the crowd interrupted. Those documents have timestamps on them. Monica froze. She spun around and looked at Craig. Craig was standing there holding a reusable shopping bag. He looked at the legal documents. He looked at the printed text messages showing his wife plotting to emotionally abuse an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. He didn't yell. He just looked at Monica with a level of absolute sheer disgust that I will never forget. He dropped the shopping bag on the ground, shook his head, turned around. and walked straight to his car. He drove away. He left her there. My mother tried one last desperate tactic. She stepped close to me, her voice dropping to a pathetic whisper. Autumn, please. You are destroying this family in front of everyone. I didn't destroy anything. Mom, I replied, I just stopped hiding the damage you caused. Right on cue, Deborah, the market coordinator, stepped through the crowd. She had a clipboard in her hand and did not look amused. I have reviewed the vendor applications and the county licensing records. Deborah announced loudly, Miss Townsend's cottage food license predates the competing application by nearly 2 years. The overlapping product descriptions have been flagged. I will be forwarding the matter to the county food safety office. Monica was operating an illegal food business. She was shut down on the spot. Monica didn't say another word. She turned around and started furiously shoving her vinyl banner and her fake gold boxes into her car. My mother walked away, completely humiliated, with my father trailing behind her in silence. I looked at my daughter, Lily. She was sitting on a milk crate behind my table. She had drawn a new sign with her colored pencils. She held it up for me to see. It read Townsend Sweets. We earned it. Yes, baby. We did. 2 months later, the state trademark office officially rejected Monica's application due to my prior use filing. My recipes and my business name were legally protected forever. Monica's Instagram went dark. Her business vanished overnight. I haven't spoken to my parents or my sister since that day at the market. I blocked their numbers. And for the first time in my life, the silence in my life isn't heavy. It's peaceful. When May rolled around, I decided I wasn't going to wait until November to be thankful. I hosted Townsend Thanksgiving in my backyard. Patty and her husband came. The sun was shining. We laughed until our ribs hurt. After dinner, I brought out 2 sparkly silver gift bags. I had gone to the dollar store and bought them myself. I filled them with homemade caramel apples and hand-painted cards, and I set them in front of Lily and Sam. Sam ripped his open, his eyes wide. Mama, is this for me? Every gift at this table is for you. Baby. I told him, always. Lily opened hers quietly. She read the card, smiled, and tucked it safely into her pocket. For 33 years, I thought family meant showing up to the table. No matter how toxic the food was, I thought it meant enduring disrespect just because you share the same bloodline. But I don't believe that anymore. Family isn't biology. Family is an action. Family means showing up for the people who show up for you. My parents had an entire lifetime to choose love. And instead, they chose control, group chats, and empty chairs. I chose my peace. I chose my dignity. I chose my kids. And I would make that exact same choice every single day for the rest of my life. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever had to draw a hard line in the sand to protect your own peace from the people who were supposed to love you the most, let me know in the comments. You are not alone, and you are not crazy for demanding respect. Thank you so much for reading and listening. Please hit that like button. Share this video with someone who might need to hear it today. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can keep sharing these stories of survival and boundaries. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you in the next one.